I think the public really needs to know that these facilities exist, that they pose a risk.
You think you're safe in your home, but nearly half of you live in a danger zone. If the worst case scenario chemical accident did happen, would your family get caught in a toxic cloud?
ABC 15 investigator Lauren Gilger in the Arizona Center for Investigative Reporting spent months looking into that very question. And tonight, an exclusive look at your neighborhood emergency plans.
Accidents happen all around us.
6 explosions, big explosions.
In our communities, near our homes and highways, hazardous materials that leak, burn, and even explode. The consequences can be dire. The National Response Center shows 25 people died in chemical accidents in Arizona in 2012 alone. In our state, there are more than 100 facilities known to use the most high-risk hazardous materials. From large manufacturing plants like Fertizona's fertilizer plant in Buckeye.
Do you have any idea what they do in there and what they have?
To places you shop every day. Names you recognize like Walmart, Target, Shamrock Farms, and pool supply shops and grocery stores. Each business must file what's called a worst-case scenario plan, outlining the impact of chemical leaks, spills, and explosions, including how many of you would be hurt if the worst were to happen.
Anybody want to buy in that area, they should know what's going on in that area so they can make that decision.
We compiled the data to create this map of danger zones across our state and who they would affect. We found nearly 3 million of you live within one or more of these danger zones. That's 44% of the state's population.
We knew there were a lot of people in these vulnerability zones, but that is higher than even I anticipated.
Sean Moulton is with the Center for Effective Government in Washington, D.C. He says the public needs to know what's in their backyard so they know what to do in case of an emergency.
West Texas was a tragic example of how bad things can get when the information isn't shared and people don't know what risks are in a facility.
Our investigation found the top 3 facilities alone would affect most of the valley if their worst-case scenarios took place. Many of the danger zones overlap. If you live in parts of Tempe, 8 different facilities could affect you. In Scottsdale, 5 overlap. There's another cluster of danger zones along the I-10 in West Phoenix. The largest danger zone surrounds DPC Enterprises in Glendale. They repackage chlorine. If the worst happened here, 1.9 million people within a 14-mile radius could be exposed to dangerous chemicals.
All of a sudden, from 0 to 1,000 patients, that'd be very, very hard for any hospital in Phoenix to handle all of that.
DPC had a dangerous leak before. In 2003, a toxic chlorine gas leak injured 11 police officers. The gas leak lasted 6 hours, 2,500 houses were evacuated, and students at Andalusia Elementary went on lockdown.
It's not that safe if we're having all our kids at the playground. How do you get like 300 kids inside right away?
The U.S. Chemical Safety Board's report showed they didn't have sufficient safeguards or training in place. Issues the facility has since fixed.
When an accident happens, it's chaos, and you can't be telling people at that time what they should be doing to protect themselves.
If you do get exposed to it at high concentrations, and this is extremely rare, it can cause death.
Dr. Frank Lavecchio with the Poison Control Center at Banner Hospital says these chemicals are considered highly toxic.
Some of them, unfortunately can cause temporary blindness. It's really bad. Coughing, shortness of breath, breathing problems.
I think it would be a good idea just to not have them near our kids.
So, do you live in one of these danger zones? Find out on our website, abc15.com/investigators. There you'll find this interactive map and another that shows the blast zones for facilities that have explosives. I'm investigator Lauren Gilger, ABC 15 News.
About that prior leak in Glendale, DPC Enterprises tells ABC 15 they acted swiftly to implement corrective actions after, and they haven't had a similar incident since. To see their full statement and those danger zones, go to our website, abc15.com/investigators.